Emirates Stakes Day, final day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. As you can see, those pacifiers, he looks like a big bug coming down there, doesn't he? And they got all covered in mud, but Damien, great rider that he is, piloted him to win. Good win too by Typhoon. We're after correct weight from Mr. Gleeson. And our thanks to Maggie. Now, thanks to Maggie too for our Race of the Century competition. It really was terrific. We enjoyed that. There is the winner of the Village Roadshow Welter. So we can pay you some money. Here's Danny Malecki.
Typhoon number 3, $4.20 and $1.80 for the win, Tim. Spirit of Hope injecting the value at $6.90 and Kingston Way $2.90. Quinella paid $64.70, Exacta $107.80, Trifecta $821.60, and Race to Race Double $31.60. Numbers 3, 9, 2 with correct weight on race 7 at Flemington. Goss.
Yes, Dan, down here, Typhoon was clearly the best back runner. They took the money from Bonanova, they upped it on Typhoon.
$1.30 for Cronus is the favourite at the moment. We've got $5 for Sea Squill and $1.80. As you can see, I've just been handed the attendance, and we needed 20,000 to break the all-time record. The crowd today, 31,728.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's up nearly 500 on last year. And when you consider that Might and Power went around last year and a lot of people came through the gate just to see him, that is a great attendance today.
Oh, it's fantastic. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and better, doesn't it?
And that means that over the carnival, we have had in excess of 296,000 people through the gates. Congratulations to everyone who turned up to make this the carnival it has been.
Yes, and well, we've been very lucky with the weather for the week, except for these last 2 or 3 races.
Well, we'll try and stay dry.
Stakes Day, 2 races to go. The next is the Queen Elizabeth, of course, Group 2 race. And Peter Donning and I tipped Cronus in the paper, feeling a bit more confident now too. And of course, he's another Zabeel. There's plenty of them on the ground.
There are, and most of them are pretty good, Tim. Of course, Zabeel side the trifecta in the Caulfield Cup, and what a super sire he has been. And I'm getting more and more keen about the prospects of Cronus, Jen.
Yes, I liked him from the start, actually. This horse is a high-class galloper, and he comes into this race with very good form as well. He was well back last start, Peter.
Yeah, why don't we have a look at him? And that last start was at Moonee Valley under the lights. And there's Cronus just having the red rug removed. He'll be ridden by Vinnie Colgan for Roger James here at Flemington. And as we said, it was under the lights. He was beaten a long way by Street, but he was running on.
Yes, and he's got 58 kilos here today, but he's no stranger to these big weights either. From 14s into 8s last time he was back. I think he's got a very, very good chance, particularly on this type of going now.
Werribee Cup winner number 2, ZERPOUR. Can David Hall bring up a winner for today and keep his record going? Brett Prebble is the rider here, and this horse, as we said, won the Werribee Cup. It was a pretty good performance in doing so.
Yes, he got a very nice trail in the Werribee Cup. He hooked out at the top of the straight and he went on to score. He does prefer the dry tracks though, Peter, so that's a concern here.
IHTIYATI is very consistent, has finished either first or second in its past 4 runs. Included in that was a win at Sandown, then finished runner-up at its last appearance in that Werribee Cup behind ZERPOUR. And Damien Oliver is the replacement rider for Jason Patton.
I thought he was given every chance in the Werribee Cup at his last start. He's okay on the dead type of going, but it might just be a little worse than that now. He prefers it dry, so at best a place chance for him, I'd say.
Before the rain came, Jen, I like this fellow Sea Squill number 5. Jimmy Cassidy rides for Graham Rogerson. I thought it was a terrific effort. He was really flying home at the end of the start quality.
Yes, I agree with you, Peter. It was a very good run there. He was wide in the Caulfield Cup. I thought he was one of the better chances, but I agree with you now that the track is the way it is, at best a place chance for him.
And you know what happens when you generally say that?
Yeah, they win.
Yep. 6 Ancient City. Matthew Gatt rides 4. Colin Alderson 4th in the Geelong Cup at its last performance in what was a blanket finish.
Well, now the track is the way it is, Peter. I've put him in for a placing here. He comes in with 53 kilos. He doesn't mind the given the ground. He looks particularly well as well. So he's not all that far away in most of his races. He's not the roughest.
Nahayan, number 9, ridden by Larry Cassidy for Trevor McKee, again in the Sunline colours. And this horse has only had the one start on rain-affected ground, didn't do anything.
No, and been a bit disappointing, I thought, in the mares race on Saturday as well. She has only won a maiden and rarely wins, so I'd say a place chance at best for her.
Number 10 is Oregon Star. Greg Childs, the rider, George Hanlon, the trainer, and finished second in that blanket finish we were talking about in the Geelong Cup.
Yes, the wet performances from Oregon Star haven't been too bad. He's had 6 tries at them for 1 win and 1 second. He gets in nicely weighted with 51.5 kilos, and last year he ran second behind Might and Power. So I think he's got to come into the race.
Some 7.5 lengths behind Might and Power, I might add.
Oh, yes, it was. Yeah. But still, you know, it's not as tough here.
Yeah, no Might and Power in this race. No. I think that's fair enough to say. Number 11, our position. Darren Gauci is the rider for David Racavolis at Mornington.
Another horse that really does excel on the dry tracks, Peter. He gets in nicely with 51 kilos and hasn't been racing too badly, but I don't particularly like him on this going.
Well, you came up with a winner in the last gen, so you're not going to carry your bat today. What about the trifecta?
I'm going for number 1, Cronus, to win from number 10, Oregon Star, and number 6, Ancient City.
Well, I suppose I've got to stick with Sea Squirrel because that's the tip that I've got down, but I'm certainly becoming more and more keen, Dan, about Cronus.
You're not alone there, Peter. $2.80 for the win and still has firmed up from the opening quote. ZERPOUR at 6.30 in very good form, but like a few of them, the Cleary being the ground now, which is slow. 3 out, IHTIYATI $10, Sea Squirrel $5.60, Ancient City $9.40, Scratch, 18 Nahayan, 5.30 Oregon Star well in the market, and our position at $25.60. This is one of the races where we really rely on a guide from the betting ring, because with the downgrading of the track, some of these horses probably wouldn't have run on a slow track, Tim Gossage, but they have to because the track was downgraded 30 minutes prior.
It's Cronus from Jennifer Chapman and Johnny Letts, Sea Squirrel from Richard and myself and Gary, and there you have the selections, and Danny's come up with another selection too. There is Cronus heading towards the stalls for the running of Race 8. The Queen Elizabeth will be back for the running of this Group 2 event at Flemington after this break.
From Oregon Star, then Ancient City on the inside of Sea Squirrel, 2 lengths to ZERPOUR, and another length away last of all is our position. 1,400 metres left to go, and it's IHTIYATI making play. About 1.5 lengths in front from the mare Nahayan. Cronus is over on the inside, Oregon Star 4th. Little change in this race. 2 lengths to Sea Squirrel on the outside of Ancient City. ZERPOUR second last, and our position at the tail end of the field. 1,100 metres to travel, and it's IHTIYATI in front. Given every chance by Oliver. It's a length clear. Second is Nahayan. Cronus third the inside. Around it Oregon Star. Sea Squirrel going up now 3 deep. And then Ancient City's a poor on the outside in our position. They are bunching now with about 800 metres left to travel. There's only 5 lengths between first and last. And IHTIYATI's in front. Nahayan second. Sea Squirrel went up wide third. Cronus in behind them on the inside. And then Oregon Star just giving a little bit of ground there from Ancient City. Our position wider. And ZERPOUR went back to last. But there's only 4 to 5 lengths between them. Up to the turn at the 600 metres. And it's IHTIYATI in front of Nahayan. Sea Squirrel our position wider out. And then Cronus, Ancient City cutting the corner through on the inside. And ZERPOUR taken wide. IHTIYATI into the straight. Tackled by Nahayan. Wider out our position. And ZERPOUR going up to them quickly now. He's the widest runner, but hit the lead. ZERPOUR went past our position, then Sea Squirrel. Cronus only battling at the moment, then Ancient City, but ZERPOUR went for home for Prebble, and David Hall, and it's kicked away from IHTIYATI. Our position, Cronus and then Ancient City, but ZERPOUR racing clear with 100 metres left to go. He's got through the ground fine, and he'll win it well. Could go the minors, Cronus and IHTIYATI, but the big winner is ZERPOUR. Second IHTIYATI, third Cronus, then came our position, Nahayan, Oregon Star, and back at the tail of the field, Ancient City with Sea Squirrel.
Well, very easy win to ZERPOUR. I didn't actually think he'd handle the ground, but gee, he made a mockery of us. He just rode him very quiet, very confident ride, brought him to the outside, found the best ground, and away he went. Cronus seemed to really struggle round the home corner. When he got into the straight, it took him to about the 150-metre mark to get going again. He's made up ground.
Damien Oliver, I've got to compliment the ride there on IHTIYATI, because generally he doesn't handle the ground. He was left alone and led, and he looked like he got through it, yet wasn't comfortable. No. Good ride, but the winner was too good, too classy.
Yes. Look, he's just kidding to him here, and just picking him up here, riding him hands and heels. Just gives him a little show of the stick. Just the way he goes. But CRONUS back there inside IHTIYATI, he's really struggling. Now he suddenly gets home.
Okay, let's go down and have a chat to David Hall, who will never forget this, and I don't think the record books will either, Pete.
Yes, and for a minute there, I thought I was going to go through the entire day without talking to David Hall. We couldn't do that, could we?
It's just that everything's worked out beautifully. The Werribee Cup was another 2,000 metre run, which fitted him up today perfectly for this. Look, we were really worried about, agitated with things, but since we won a race at Moonee Valley with Little Miss Marnie, he's really switched off and he's just riding like a man possessed. Fantastic.
Well done to you.
Thanks a lot, Peter.
David Hall with his 8th winner for the Carnival. Here is the man who has broken Jack Purtell's record, Brett Prebble with John Letts.
Yes, Brett, you've broken Jack Purtell's record. How does it feel?
It's a pretty special moment for me, Lettsy. You know, to get to anywhere near a great, you know, jockey under his calibre is quite an amazing feat for me.
And at only 22 years of age?
Yeah, exactly. That one was Mum and Dad.
Yeah, they'd be very proud of you now, Brett.
Yeah.
And you said to me this horse is ZERPOUR. You think next year, where will he be running?
In the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, he looks pretty promising, doesn't he? You said he never handled the track and yet he was still too good.
Yeah, he was. He's a good horse. He's a good stayer. Paid a lot of money for him, so he wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, congratulations, Brett.
Thanks.
And it's a great effort.
Ciao.
Good on you, mate.
A look of absolute delight on the face of Brett Prebble as he crossed the line, and why wouldn't there be? Because Jack Purtell is regarded as one of the greatest riders in the history of horse racing in this country, and Brett Prebble has now established a mark that beat even the deeds of the great Jack Purtell. What a wonderful carnival it's been. He's riding in magnificent style. David Hall is training in magnificent fashion, and ZERPOUR is running very quickly, and he'll be a top chance next week in the Sandown Classic. Runners return to scale now. The numbers there after race 8, 2, 4 and 1. We'll be back with the weight signal, the dividends and the presentation after the running of the Queen Elizabeth Stakes on this very important day for Australia after this.